Hello, everyone. Welcome to the BB&J show. It is I, BB, and I'm joined with Jay.
Hi.
This side. I don't know. Um, this is manga episode 9. We are still going with that punchline. Yeah. Um. So, yeah, that happened.
So,
I don't know why we chose to do this, but yeah, that was me. If anyone would guess, that was me trying to be Jay, and I can't. I know no one can. No one can match Jay's energy. Okay, I'm sorry. I might have been too over the top, too hype or something. So
so, for the four people that are still with us, we have a great show for you up ahead. BB, you did great. You just gotta harness that crackhead energy, like I said. That is just what it is. But you did great. You harnessed the lightning bolt. We have a wonderful show coming up for you guys. I'm excited. It is our 10th episode, our decennial episode. We've been doing this for I don't know 10 times, as the episode would suggest. Um,
yeah,
yeah, So we are going to talk some Halo. We're going to talk some Lost Ark. We're going to talk some Saints Row. I'm really excited to talk about the Saints Row at the end of the show because Saints Row has been an important part of my life and gaming life. But let us begin with the game that, quite frankly, I wish would get lost. Lost Ark.
oh my gosh, no. I mean, okay, so Lost Ark was like it got super. It was super hype. I mean, it still is. It's still got pretty good you know
Better than
community
Halo.
going, and oh, for sure. I mean, at this point, I think anything is. But anyways, um, but Lost Ark, I tried to grind through it, and eventually I just gave up.
Yeah.
Okay. I lasted a little longer than Jay. Okay, Jay like uploaded or downloaded the game, went into like the main hub, and then we never saw him again.
I don't even think I got that far.
But Lost Ark has got some content drop. That's including a battle pass system, which is in today's standard, it's pretty normal, right? And a new class, which I am sure a lot of people are super excited for that. It is the April content drop that they had, but they are how would you? I mean, how would you put that? It was, I guess, it drove a lot of people back
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, and so there's it seems like there's a lot of people who are just coming back into the game, a lot of people who are still sticking with the game right now. But yeah, I think this is pretty good. I mean, it's definitely got a huge, like I said, a huge fan base, a huge amount of players playing it. And this is something that I think is pretty, I mean, it's pretty common in MMOs, I would say, right? Like,
Yeah.
for them to drop like events and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
to to keep it fresh. Unlike other games, Halo, excuse me, sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
You knew where I was going.
but yeah, what do you think about that? What do you think about the Lost Ark update?
Well, I had two points. One's a question. One's a point. This game has been out since since what, February, March. Already got new content,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
it's miles ahead of Halo Infinite. Um, and the new class, is that pay gated, paywalled, like behind a paywall? Do you need to have the battle pass to get the new class? Because we had a friend who was interested in the game and was playing it and
Mm-hmm.
was wanted to play more, but wanted to wait for the new classes. Some of the new classes. He was looking up some of the new classes. Now I don't know. I haven't had a chance to talk to him since this news broke, so I don't know if this is one of the classes he was waiting for. But if it's behind a paywall, it would just kind of. I understand wanting to drive home the battle pass, but I think it would kind of also be, in my opinion, another misstep because they also don't have uh, Asian and Australian servers. Southeast Asian, I believe it is, and
Mm,
Australian servers. They don't
okay.
even have servers for that market. So it'd be another blunder, in my opinion, if it's locked behind a paywall, even
Yeah.
though I understand the business model behind it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, from what I understood, I don't think it is like locked into a the battle pass system. It seems like it's a new. You see, it's because the thing is like it's kind of weird the way they handle classes because there's a class, but then there's like an advanced class.
Which is an advance because you
Um,
get it right out the gate.
yeah, I don't really like understand it that much.
That's not
But
how advanced
bro,
classes work.
yeah. But it is a new advanced class, so I'm not too sure if it's gonna be something like that's like from a current class, which I would think kind of suck,
Mm,
or if it's just a complete new class and they're just saying the sub class or
mm,
whatever,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Name for it. From what I was reading, I don't see anything that was I didn't see anything that was under like a battle pass or anything. But they did have like it looks like they're having like tiers to the
Oh
battle pass. I
God.
mean, it's a free to play game, so I mean, I'm not really like too big of a fan on battle passes, but their version, I guess they have like tier systems where it's like you get a normal one, then you get like a premium one, I guess. I don't know. Um, I mean, I think as long as it's not very like I guess pay to win type ish, then
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to spend money on a pass that'll give you cosmetics or helpful items, I guess, or whatever. I don't really know. Like that's the thing with MMOs. I'm not too familiar how a battle pass would work in an MMO, right? I'm more familiar to with like the regular traditional like multiplayer, like battle royales type stuff like that, right? Like Apex Legends,
We
for
went we
example,
went
right?
over your Fortnite heresy a few episodes ago.
Hey man, I'm and don't remind me, okay? I'm having flashbacks. I'm not proud of those moments. Um, but yeah, it's something in that way where they have like I guess you could say like a tier system
Mm,
to it.
mm.
Um, but yeah, at least they got an update.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games out there. Well, maybe not a lot. Maybe just one in particular who's been people have been waiting for something.
Waiting for quite a few specific updates. Uh,
Yeah.
Now it's interesting. Okay, first of all, I lasted with this game. I lasted an hour and 12 minutes. I think was the exact time. It was I played some before I had a stream. I created a character. I got a few feet into the tutorial and I wanted to rip my hair out and I deleted the game and actually it's not even on my Steam profile. I want no evidence that that game existed on my computer. I didn't like the way it worked. Advanced class that you get 10 seconds after creating your character is not an advanced class. That is just your class. I hate to break it to you, game, but that's not how advanced classes works. You keep using that word, but I do not think it means what you think it means. But the fact that this new class might be an advanced class, our friend that I was talking about did mention that one of the classes he was waiting for was an advanced class, so this might be that. Um,
Okay.
it is early in the game's life, so that this is what they're rolling out with. It's just one advanced class or class, and it's fine. Honestly, the battle pass, yeah, it is a free game, so they're gonna get their money how they need to. That's understandable. It's just so long as it's not pay to win, so long as it's not, this class is far superior than the other classes, and you can get it by paying. Therefore, you have an advantage. That's the kind of pay to win that's bad. If it's, this class is the same thing, point and click as everything else, but it maybe looks cooler, then
Yeah.
that's fine in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I see it like that too. Yeah, you're right. As long as it's not doing anything where it's like pay to win type stuff. I mean, because like, then again, this is the reason why it kind of sucks. Even if it was just a PVE, which this has PvP in it, but
Mm-hmm.
even if it was just PVE, it's still not fair to introduce things like that, right? If it was like
Yeah.
a pay to win, because I mean, people like to grind for things, and it's like it doesn't feel you never feel like that sense of reward or anything if you go ahead, but somebody can just go and buy it for like 3, 5, or in this case maybe like $10 or whatever the
Yeah.
pass is going to cost, right?
Yeah.
um but yeah, I mean, hopefully it's I would like to kind of go back into it because I did the same for me. I have a pattern with MMOs. I don't know if the game's just too big and or what, but like I get to a point where I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna play something else. Like I don't know, it like Lost Ark to me, we talked about this like when we first talked about Lost Ark, right? And like
Mhm.
comparing to like New World,
Mhm.
I will say Lost Ark to me felt more engaging than New World,
Yeah.
but I think it just gets to the point where you just feel like you're just not necessarily going anywhere, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So that was for me, that was one, but it's also the waiting or having to grind to be able to play with my friends. That
That
to
was
me, it's
yeah.
like you can follow the story together, but
Mhm.
at the end of the day, it's just tedious. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go here, and then you meet up, right? When you can finally get to the end game, and people who are playing together and everything, that sounds like fun, but I just don't want to take a whole, like, I don't know, 10 hours to get there, like.
Yeah. Or more.
And so, or more, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So the thing with it's like to me the way I see it is a two pronged issue. Now there are gamers who like MMOs, and there are MMO dedicated gamers, and that's fine if that's
Yeah.
who you are and that's your jam. More power to you. However, we have this show. We have our own streams. We have our own stuff that we produce for YouTube. We have our day to day lives. There's just not enough time in the day to dedicate to an MMO. There's just
Hmm.
not. I don't have like I love Knights of the or Star Wars: The Old Republic, the Star Wars MMO. I
Yeah.
love that MMO very much, and I love the stories that I played. I got to play, but I don't have the time to play it anymore. It takes dedicated time, and
Yeah.
hours, and I just don't have the time to dedicate to that game anymore. And MMOs are like that. They require you to keep grinding. So that's an MMO thing. It's not really a problem if you have the time. If you're able to be
Exactly.
like, you know what, I have 8 gaming hours a week, and I'm going to dedicate those 8 hours to MMOs because I love MMOs. If that's how you do
Hmm.
it, then hey, good job to you. That
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't want to use my gaming time on MMOs, so I don't have the time. Then the Lost Ark specifically does this thing where you can't just start off together. You
Yeah.
can't, you have to get to like what is it, level 50 or something like that. You have to get to a certain
Yeah,
level.
because you have to get to like the end game. I think it is like level 50 where you can technically like do things together constantly or consistently, right?
Yeah,
Because you can, like, I was going back to that, like, you can technically invite your party members to be with you, and like I was playing with at the time Sir Greki, right?
mm-hmm.
And we were able to like link up, but then like sometimes you go different routes and
Yeah,
they level up like faster than you, or if you
mm-hmm.
stop playing, they'll keep going, because
Yeah,
they want to keep, and
yeah.
that's not gonna, I'm not gonna be like, hey, yo, you can't play because I'm not playing, like, I
Yeah,
mean, come on.
yeah,
Right?
exactly.
So even if you still were to able to like, you know play at the same time, it would probably take you too long, if
Mm-hmm.
anything, to get to end game where you can constantly or consistently play with, groups of friends,
Yeah,
right? or,
yeah,
or like in a group per se, right? So you're right, that's the thing. It's like if you have the time to do that, that's good. That's, I would love to dedicate to an MMO, but at the same time though, it's like, to me, I just don't like, if the game's all about like, promoting a lot of like the co-ops elements, but I can't
mm-hmm.
really do that because I have to like either catch up or whatever.
Right.
It kind of it gets me to the point where I'm like, oh, I just go play something else, I guess. Like
Yeah,
I'll just play
yeah.
something more relaxed or
Mm-hmm.
more chill, where I don't have to constantly worry about, grinding or missing out on something,
And that's the
right?
thing. The pacing of MMOs in general
Yeah.
are just to the point where I don't enjoy it because I don't. If I have, say, I have 9 hours a week to game, and I'm gonna
Hmm.
put 5 of them into MMOs. I don't want to spend those 5 hours collecting berries, like just because collect 9 berries, and you
Yeah.
bring 9 berries and collect 6 bushels of hay. Like it's like, and these games they do it because you need to grind for the XP,
Yeah.
but I don't want to do like that's not what I enjoy. So I can't I don't like the overall pacing
Yeah.
um of MMOs in the sense of like it's a grind fest. It grinds you to powder almost.
Yeah.
And they're doing it because their whole business model is this game doesn't really end, or if it does end, it's after a very long, protracted time. So they need to fill that time. The problem is that more often than not, these games fill that time with meaningless fetch quests.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. So that's the thing with that. But I mean, hey, at least they got an update pretty soon after it was released over here. So I mean, props to Lost Ark for pushing out content pretty quickly.
Speaking of
you know.
meaningless and
Oof.
content drops, uh, Halo Infinite, our favorite whipping horse around here. We beat this game like a government mule around here, and you know what? It's because it deserves it. I they've
Halo.
recently actually I saw an article that their player base dropped below the Master Chief Collection. I didn't get a
Oof.
chance to see the
Talking about Master Chief Collection, did you see they got updated too? They got a freaking the flood firefight, which was like the co-op survival or whatever, wave
I
survival.
had heard that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they got an update before Infinite. Like that. Wow, that's crazy.
This is why we beat Halo Infinite like a government mule around here. And you know what? For anybody who thinks that I harp on Halo Infinite too much, too bad, so sad. This game needs to get its shit together, and I will. The day this game is complete is the day I will give it a complete shot, but I will still hold the a la carte approach against it. Just that's just the way it is. But
Yeah.
BB, they have, and I'm going to harp on some things
Hmm.
because I read an article. I didn't read the article. I read the headline, and just first of all, two of the modes sound very similar to each other,
Yeah. Yeah.
and one of the modes
True.
sounds almost exactly, at least in title. I want to know what the specifics are of the mode, but
Yeah.
at least in title, it sounds almost identical to modes they have in the game already. So, BB, tell us this this update for Halo
Yeah.
Infinite before I start cursing.
So, we have a few modes coming to Halo Season 2 or Halo Infinite Season 2 Lone Wolves, right? The only people who are playing this, right?
6 people still playing
Um
it. Yeah.
yeah. They are pretty reading, you know what, let me just read through them so you can see what they are, because you're right, they do sound pretty similar, but or to what we have already.
Yeah.
But first up will be King of the Hill. That's a
Hmm.
classic mode. That's pretty classic and pretty well known from like the original series, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you got your traditional King of the Hill where you're gonna go in and pretty much, you battle out, the two teams battle it out for a specific hill. Whoever stays on that specific hill for a specific amount of time, I guess, before time runs out, wins the game. And you score your points or whatever, and then
So strongholds
so
without 3 places.
essentially, yeah, essentially you're right. It is, but for
New.
the small
Fresh.
the smaller, what is it, like 12, like 6 on 6, I guess.
Y-
Um,
Yeah.
or is it 5 on 5? I can't
I thought
remember.
it was 4-4. It was four and
Or is it
four, and
four on
then
four?
it was 4-4, and then was big team not?
Okay, yeah, it's like 4 on 4, but then you have the 12 on 12, right? Or
Yeah,
big teams,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so you have that, right? Which is, like you said, pretty much familiar. The closest thing you could say is, I guess, yeah,
It's a
strongholds, right?
single area stronghold,
From
or
yeah,
because there is a 4v4 version of it as well. It's not like people can say, well, big team has the strongholds. This is for the small teams. No, they have small team hold the area, whatever it is, and they
yeah,
even have a ranked version. So this mode exists. I'm sorry for Halo purists out there, the 7 of you that still are in love with this game and are still playing, that have a season named after you. This mode exists. They just took away 2 of the 3 areas and gave it a different name. And I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of a different graphic and intro. Ooh, and that'll be a new mode, but it's not new because this is
oh,
shit we're doing already.
just before I you keep going with that, bro. Give me a second here. All right, give me a second here to let you know about the next mode because we have ourselves land grab. Ooh. When a player captures a zone, right, it's locked and it gives the team 1 point, right? Ooh, 1 point, right? And you have to capture the three zones, the three neutral zones. Once you capture them, there's an intermission until new zones appear. First team with 11 points wins the game.
That's flag on the play for bullshit. That's the mode. That's the mode. They just changed
Uh,
the scoring. They
yeah.
they just changed the scoring. What is this shit? Are you kidding me? Was this released on April 1st? Is this like an April Fool's joke? Did they just reskin 2 modes and just be like,
Oh my god.
new things? Did they really? You gotta be shitting me with this. With a straight face, they released this?
Oh, it will release on looks like May 3rd. Um that's what they're aiming for. But yeah, land grab, that is the new one of the new modes,
No, it's
and
not.
I can well, actually it's one of the newly titled game modes that we already have.
Yes, there you go. There you go. Because no, that is not a new mode. As Stone Cold Steve Austin would say. No, that is not a new mode. That is reskin okay, both of these modes are reskinned of the same mode. They couldn't even be
Essentially, yeah.
creative and take 2 different modes and reskin them. They reskinned the same goddamn mode twice. How the how does anybody keep buying into this? Please explain. I want, if anybody out there, if you guys, there's no shame. Email the show if you don't want to put it in the comment section. Email the show if you're still buying the battle pass. Please explain to me why. I need to know. You are the people there making money off of it. And I need to understand this because this is something else. So when I read the headline, I didn't get a chance to read the article, but I read the headline and I was like, land grab. That sounds awfully like that. It sounds awfully like Stronghold or whatever.
I mean, because land grab is literally what you do in. I mean, if you think about the name, right? That's what you go do in Stronghold. You go get that piece of land over there and capture it, like, or it's essentially the same thing with King of the Hill. Go get the land from whatever zone it is.
But the sheer audacity, the sheer the size of the stones on these people to sit there and release that description. That is like a slap in the face to anybody who's still like loyal to this game. I'm sorry. That is a slap in the face. They just described Strongholds to you and tweaked the scoring system. In Strongholds, for those who don't play Halo Infinite, for the vast majority of people that don't play Halo Infinite, Strongholds is you start on a team, and there's a 4v4 version of it. I don't know the name. I can't be fucked to find it. But it's basically the same mode. You guys, your team, there's A, B, and C. You have to go into A or B or C and stand there and capture the area. When you capture the area, that's your area. You then have to capture all 3 to win a round. First one to win 2 out of 3 rounds, I think it is, or 3 rounds.
Yeah, I think it's 3. Yeah,
wins the game. Land grab is you start off and there's neutral zones that you go and get, and then there's a refresher, intermediate, whatever you want to call it. Yep. Then they reset, more zones come out, and first to 11 wins. Ha 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 ha. New mode. No, it's the same mode. It's the same mode. They just changed the scoring because in Strongholds, when one team scores and wins, there is that like 30-40 seconds where the map is empty. You know, if it's a big team battle, the gun on the map goes off, and you know, people still running around, and then new zones will spawn in, and there's a countdown to that, and new zones spawn, and they couldn't even be creative enough to rip off 2 different modes. They ripped off the same mode twice.
Oh my god.
I've honestly, this game, this 343 has done something I didn't think was possible. Every time I think Every time I think they've finished taking a shit in people's Cheerios, they drop another turd.
Oh my god.
I I don't believe it. I seriously cannot. This is wow. Kudos to them for having the stones to just put this out there with a straight face and kudos. I guess I don't fucking know. Jesus Christ, I can't. I'm speechless.
I
If
mean,
you're
I guess you
excited for this, please don't be. Like, just don't. Just stop. Go play Lost Ark. Go play Lost Ark. That
go play Lost Ark. Oh no.
go download that. It's free. And I
I
gets content.
mean, all right. So the next mode, the third new mode. Okay. I mean, I'm assuming this mode is probably like the
What?
closest thing that we're gonna get to battle royale, if you
Oh,
would
for
say.
fuck's sake.
Okay. um, I don't know. Now there is talks, and we could probably touch on that some other time when it's actually probably been confirmed, because it's more of like leaks or so that there is going to be an actual battle royale now to save Infinite,
You
but
gotta be shitting me.
I don't know how true it is, so I'm just just take that with a grain of salt, because it's a leak that they've been working on supposedly. But this right here for season 2, Lone Wolves. All right, this is their answer, Halo's Infinite, to a battle royale type where it is a free for all, 12 players that spawn in on a big team battle map. Okay, and you get 5 respawns only. All right. Once your respawns are gone, you can either spectate or leave the match, because that's it. And this is called um Last Spartan Standing. All right? That's what it is. So it's kind of like an elimination type of mode. Um and yeah, that's how it is. You get a specific like loadout, right? When you spawn in, you die 5 times, and that's it. That's all they added.
I need to find
um,
new and inventive ways to curse at this game because I am running out and I am going to end up being like Infinite and
oh,
reskinning the
don't.
same curses. Okay, first of all,
Oh,
it is just they just took a custom mode and made it a mode. You could just do like we've done it. We've done it when
true.
we've run the tournament. We should sue for copyright infringement at this point because when we do the Halo tournament, which is a
Yeah,
joint community effort, what is the third place battle royale?
true. Yeah,
All the participants except for the 2 finalists are in a free for all match with 3 spawns.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, the interesting part about this is that this is all season 2 content, right? And now this is what we're supposedly getting. Well, we are. It's been confirmed that the new multiplayer modes. Now, give me a second here. King of the Hill, right? And Last Spartan Standing will be available day 1 of season 2. Land Grab, it will be introduced later in the month, apparently. So yeah,
How? Why? Why is it later in the month? It's in the game already.
I don't know.
Call it
I
EA
guess they're
Sports. It's
probably
in the
gonna do
game.
like an event or something. You know how they do. You know, remember the Fracture Tenrai or whatever event that they split into like 4 sections throughout 3-4 months or whatever it was. I guess that's probably what they're gonna do. I don't really understand their whole take on like limited time modes, because the game already doesn't have enough. So why would you be like, oh, okay, we're gonna drop these modes for limited time and take it away? Maybe they'll come back when we drop them again. Like, what? It doesn't make any sense. Your game needs content, but you take it away, or you lock it for a specific amount of time and then you take it away. Like, I just don't understand that type of move. Like, I don't know.
Too
And
many.
it's not like the mode, sorry, it's just like it's not
No,
like the mode is like super cool, like super
it
extremely like
sucks.
amazing. I will tell you that last mode, I did hop into multiplayer. This was like maybe two months ago. I hopped in to multiplayer with Flatman and Gamma.
Mm-hmm.
and we played this one mode where if you get a specific, it's also like last Spartan Standy, but it was team based where you
Yeah.
get specific amount of lives, and
Mm-hmm.
then your teammate can revive you if you have no more lives,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it was actually fun. And then the next thing I knew, when I went back into play, because I was like, oh, let's play that mode. Oh, actually, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like what? So you finally brought some fun, creative thing to the game, and then you just take it away. I don't really understand that type of move they do.
Now,
I just don't get it.
I mean, now you know why there's like 5 people still playing it, and 4 of them work at 343. The other
Yeah.
one's Fletman. It's like too many people at 343 are smelling their own farts over there. You know, they're just like farting and smelling. They're farting and sniffing over there at 343 because this is just I don't. I'm like you. I don't understand it. So the most creative modes that I've seen in Halo are also the most, in my opinion, fun that I've had with Infinite.
Mhm.
The stockpiles, I enjoy stockpiles on
Yeah,
certain
stuff was
maps.
pretty cool.
You know, and that's a different mode from Halo. It's kind of like a multiple capture the flag thing, and it gets all
Hmm.
kind of, you know, it can be strategic, it can be
Yeah.
chaotic, it can be all different things. That was fun, and that's a
Hmm.
standard mode. But you can
Yeah.
only do that so many times before you're just like,
Correct.
okay, I need
Correct.
something else now. Fiesta was one that was fun for me. I enjoyed
Yeah.
Fiesta. It was interesting to load out with different guns and equipment at random every time you died, and it was
Hmm.
kind of fun and you know it was quirky and all of that. And then they took it away, and then did they not bring it back or did they take it away again?
Yeah, they finally made it like a permanent mode or
Right.
whatever, right?
Okay. And then the mode you were talking about. Now I didn't play that mode, but I saw it and it looked really like okay, this is actually interesting. You know, you're
Mhm.
reviving. Now, of course, there are other games that do this, but this is new to the Halo franchise.
Exactly. Correct.
So you're
Hmm.
reviving teammates. You know, you got to be strategic, and I think they not add a ranked component to it or something like that. Where
I think so. Yeah.
pause. Ooh, that burped. I'm gonna ask the. Ooh, excuse me. I'm gonna ask the rank question again. Did they not ask, or did they not add a rank component to that mode as well?
Yeah, I believe they did. Yeah, for some time. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when it was good. That's when it was fun. But again, like you said, they took it away.
Hmm.
It, it's
Oh
like
yeah, I don't get it.
it's like with Infinite. It's like 343 is like let's see how we can screw this up as much as possible. Let's release a trailer that everybody's gonna shit on. Push
Yeah.
the game back a year, then release it a la carte with little to no modes. Talk about this weird roadmap that they have, maybe kind of sort of. It's a roadmap to a roadmap that gets you nothing. I don't think. Then let's hype up co-op multiplayer or co-op campaign, which is like a
Yeah. So
staple of Halo.
yeah.
Then let's just push that back, and then let's reskin some modes and call it new modes. And then the maps that's supposed to be new, they don't look all that new. They don't really look all that impressive, to be honest with you. And that this is no slight. I want to make sure that I say this every time. This is no slight on the development team. This is no
Hmm.
slight on the people that are working on the game, that are doing the artists and the programmers
Yeah.
and those folks. This isn't slight on them. This is a slight on the decision makers at 343. The people that are deciding, okay, we're gonna
Yeah.
push this game out. Okay, this is what we're gonna give them for season 2. Okay, we're just gonna focus on this mode because make no mistake, 343 is a business like any other, and somebody somewhere says, no, don't work on this, work on this. There's decisions
Yeah.
being made. It's just how it works, right? There's decisions being made, resources being allocated to something versus something else. And somebody is saying, no, let's not try to come up with something new and innovative. Let's reskin the same 2 modes. That's the person that gets my ire because these are, in my opinion, dumb decisions. In almost every fork, Halo Infinite could have taken a different decision and been better.
True. Yeah. It you could definitely they could have definitely gone a different route. And just provided a better type of like performance with the game. I mean, it was just I just feel like every time we go over this, it's
Mm.
literally the same thing. You know, we're just talking about the same thing and how in a way I still have a little it's like a very minuscule like little bit of hope that eventually Infinite will become good because
You're an optimist.
it's just because I love Halo. That's the only reason why. But I mean, I love Halo, but at the same time, I'm not out here,
You know what I'm getting.
I'm not out here just, you know, I don't want to play the game because there's just not really much to do. It's the same thing over and over.
I love Halo as well, but this game
Yeah.
is shit.
No. Oh.
Infinite is shit.
Oh god.
Okay, I'm sorry to say it. Infinite is shit, and I've lost hope that it can be good. I'm
Yeah.
now hoping that it can be mediocre. I'm hoping
Yeah.
it could reach the heights of mediocrity right now. That is
True.
what I am hoping for with Halo Infinite. Because right now it is in garbage lands. The moment to moment gameplay is fun.
Mm.
Kudos to the developers and the artists and the sound designers and the folks that do that stuff. Good on you. You guys did a great job.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
management at
They did
343
fantastic.
needs to get in the bin because they have just taken a baseball bat to Halo Infinite and beat it upside the head senseless at every turn and have made decisions that have just led to nothing but frustration on the parts of people who have been playing Halo since November of 2001 like yours truly. I stood in
Yeah.
line at a midnight release. I got in line at 8 p.m. for Halo 3 and I got that fucking head from the Halo 3 launch, okay? I have been with Halo through thick and thin, and now it is just disappointing. So, to the people that make the decisions at 343, kindly get in the bin and let somebody else make decisions, would you please? Because you're
Yeah.
fucking this up. Right now, the highest you can get, in my opinion, is mediocre. When it fully releases, we will do a review of this game. I'm sure at
Yeah.
some point, because we have beaten
Yeah.
this horse.
We'll do the full release review 10 years from now.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, yeah. There you go. Hey, maybe by then we'll be able to customize our characters.
Oh yeah, we finally have free customization. But speaking of games that allow you to fully customize every single thing, all right?
Yep.
Truly customize
Every single thing, if you know what I'm talking about.
everything. Yes. Saints Row, the developers of Saints Row dropped their brand new trailer for their reboot of the franchise, right?
Mm.
And I have to say that I'm actually I'm actually impressed by it. I saw the whole thing and I saw that it was like, okay, you can literally customize practically everything, at least body wise.
Including your
Okay?
wiener.
Yeah. um I was really surprised about how deep the customization was because I know going back with Saints Row over the years they've kind of upgraded that,
Mm.
right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, games back then were pretty simple, right? When it came to like customizing, they gave you a few options and good amount. But I feel like with Saints Row, it's just become bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Even the last one, the amount of outfits you had and
Mm-hmm.
right. But I've never really seen this type of customization in like an open world game like this
Yeah.
where you can literally customize like the size of your ears,
And
you
your
can
wiener.
customize yes. Uh um you can customize different parts of your face, your body. It's truly amazing.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, they went and showed all the customizational options in the game when it comes to player, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to weapons, it's a bunch of customizations when you're with your weapons and everything. I mean, they're really making this game be about you.
Yeah.
right? They
Yeah.
want you to express yourself in every way possible,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm always down for games like that because
Same.
that just games in a way are an escape for a lot of people. They're an escape for me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I can go and escape and create a character that I feel represents me or whatever, right? Or
Yep.
that I would love to be, or that to me just it hits home, right? And like I said, it's got the guns, it's got even the cars you can
Yeah.
fully customize too, and then to top it off, your home base. You can make that home base pretty much how you want to.
Yeah. I
It's it's really cool. I'm actually pretty excited for this game.
I okay, so I'm gonna take you on a little bit of a journey. I graduated high school in 2006, so I'm an older fogey. I graduated high school in 2006. Before in my junior year of high school, I got a copy of Saints Row. Not Saints Row, excuse me. San Andreas, GTA San Andreas,
Mhm.
and I played and beat that all through Christmas break. It took me a Christmas break to beat that because I played it like I had no life. When Saints Row was announced in August of 2006, I think it was coming out at the end of August. It was announced, and it was it was gonna be like that first kind of game of its kind on the 360.
Yep.
I was like, I want this because I gotten a 360 for graduating high school as a graduation present to myself, and I gotten Oblivion. So I had only been playing Oblivion up to that point. So I got Saints Row. When I tell you I poured myself into Saints Row because of the character customization, because one of the default like faces looked a little bit like me to begin with, so I didn't have to tweak much after that.
Yeah.
I played that game literally. I mean, there is no hour counter, but it was an unhealthy number, I'm sure. And my best friend at the time was the same way because it was the first of its kind where like the when you ran somebody over the bragdoll physics and
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
yeah, and the story was good. I had fun with the story, the gun sounds, and you know I had my character. I love to wear suits, so I had my character decked out in suits and ties, and I was having fun. I was having just as much fun playing the game as I was picking out tie shirt combos,
Exactly. Yeah.
and like all of that. Fast forward, Saints Row 2 comes out, and boy howdy,
Oh, Saints Row 2, man.
that
Damn.
I bought a special edition. I was looking for it before, but it's over in the other hardware. I got the special edition that came with a USB drive in the shape of a bullet for Saints Row 2. I still have that. But I was Saints Row 2 was even more because the customization deepened in Saints Row
Yes.
2,
Hmm.
and your character had a personality now in Saints Row 2 where he was
Yes.
silent in Saints Row 1, and oh my dear, it's so Saints Row 2 is what started me right in writing. Actually, it didn't start me, I shouldn't say, but I started with Halo, and then Saints Row 2 I wrote on a forum
Mm.
before Saints Row 2 came out. There was like a Saints Row forum where you were encouraged to write like fan fictions, and I
Okay.
wrote a thing. It was like 3 or 4 part story of it, and people were actually responding to it, and they wanted more of it, and I dove so deep into that universe. My character had the suits with the purple, because purple is the gang color in the game.
Yeah.
The purple snakeskin cowboy boots, and he was just like, he was decked out and he was looking good. And I had all my cars customized, and I mean, just the escapism, as you say,
Yep.
that games allow you, and the game like that allowed me to do. I wrote a whole like story fan fiction on it, and then Saints Row 3, to me Saints Row 3 kind of went when they decided to go overly wacky is where they
Hmm.
started to lose me a little bit.
Yeah. True.
Because I enjoyed, because the thing with Saints Row 1 and 2 was that it was wacky, but they had a dose of realism in it. Like,
Correct. Yeah, it definitely felt a little bit more grounded
yeah,
and like more real, right?
yeah,
When it came to like the gang wars that they had and everything, right?
yeah,
And story wise, it just felt more you felt more connected because like you said, wacky, but still that sense of realism where
yeah,
like how stuff went down. So you're
yeah.
right, definitely you're definitely right on that. Because I Saints Row 2 is my was my favorite one.
Oh, yeah. Saints Row 2 is my
I
favorite of the
I
series.
I definitely played that game like start to finish multiple times. Like I just, it was so good,
I
so
st-
good, dude.
I have it. I got it for my Xbox One because they,
Hmm.
you get backwards compatible. I got Saints Row
Yeah,
1 and
yeah,
2 on Xbox One, and when I got my
hmm,
Series S, I looked and I could just re-download on my Series S. So I still
yeah,
have it, and I
yeah.
still play Saints Row 2 and 1. We're talking now. Saints Row 1 is 16 years old. Saints Row 2 is what now, 13 years old at this point, 14 years old. So the thing with Saints Row 3, like Saints Row 2 had wackiness in it, right? There was like a voodoo gang that like
Yeah,
you would like.
yeah, yeah,
There was one scene where you're trying to kill this guy and he just wasn't dying. You had to actually cut his head off, and
yeah,
like it was so, it was, crazy and wacky. But Saints Row 3 got to the point where it was just like, okay, now we're talking zombies and
yeah.
all of this stuff. And then the thing with Saints Row 3 is that the story, because so just to give people an idea, there was these things called activities. You
Hmm.
could not do the next story mission until you had enough respect. You would get
Yeah,
respect through activities. And activities were just like meaningless, side things where you would get one cutscene and then you would have to do 7 or 8 levels of it, and then you would unlock something for doing that activity. Saints Row 3, they ditched the respect level, but they made you do the activities as part of the story.
mm,
That's where
yeah,
it got kind
yeah,
of like, like, give me a break. Now you're just padding, this
yeah.
thing.
Exactly.
And but Saints Row 4 to me found a good balance, in my opinion, between the grounded in sort of a version of reality and the
Hmm.
wackiness. And we were talking about this before the show, and what I was saying, it seemed like maybe you hadn't thought about it the way I was saying it, but like in Saints Row 4, there's an alien invasion. You are the president of the United States, and one of my favorite shows, The West Wing. They actually spoofed The West Wing in the second level, which I just fucking love. With the walk and talk. Um, but you're the president, and an alien invasion comes, and you're then thrown into like some sort of Matrix-like world. And the thing is that everybody's kidnapped, and they're put in their own like personal nightmares,
Hmm.
and you go and break people out of their own personal nightmares, and you start to see the characters as more than just these wacky characters. You start to see what their actual worst nightmares are, when you break them out. And
Yeah.
then they do a spoof on Mass Effect and the loyalty missions. You then go and help them live out a fantasy of theirs. So you kind of see both sides of their character, and it's done in a wacky way, but it's done in a way that lets you, that really shows you character development and a different side of the
Hmm.
characters, and things like that. So to me, that's why I I like 4 more than 3, because yeah, 4 is crazy, but it does have semblances of like deeper meaning to it. I am so excited for the reboot. I'm a little disappointed that they seem to want to go super wacky again. I'm like, funny story, side story. It almost has nothing to do with this, but do you know the reason why I have a Twitch account is because of Saints Row?
Really.
Yes. When Volition was doing for Saints Row 3, they were hyping up Saints Row 3. They were going to do on, I think Saints Row came out on a Tuesday, and so the Saturday, Sunday before it came out, they were going to play, the devs were playing Saints Row 1 and 2 on Twitch. And so I
Ah,
created an account, and that's why my account goes back to 2013. I
yeah.
created an account in August of 2013 to watch the dev streams of Saints Row 2 and 1, and watch the devs play it, and just that was my first Twitch experience. It was the first time I was on
Wow.
Twitch,
Some
and
history here.
yes, as Saints Row is holds such a special place in the story of Outlaw Man 76 that it's really, it's a seriously special place. And when they did Saints Row 4, they did a whole
Hmm.
weekend. It was like, Saints Row 1 one day, Saints Row 2 the next day, Saints Row 3 the
Ah,
next day.
three.
So I had my account, and that's where I created my Twitch account, was for Saints Row.
Dang, that's pretty cool. There's an actual story behind, like,
Mm-hmm.
that involves like Saints Row,
Yeah.
and I like that. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I mean, I had the same experience with all of them. I mean, uh, I really like, for some time, like Saints Row was always like, it was always being compared to like GTA, and
Mm-hmm.
because it's just, in a sense that they're similar, right? The
Yeah.
whole open world, and you can go and do destruction and all that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like Saints Row, it was always that sense of like wacky like action, but it also lets you enjoy it and have fun and do
Mm.
whatever you wanted, right? So I'm really excited for this. When I first saw I will say, like, being completely honest, when I first saw like the reboot trailer, I got excited because it's Saints Row.
Yeah.
I was just like, finally, because I know it was some time since they even talked about anything
Mm-hmm.
Saints Row, and I thought that four was it just finished,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I thought they had just finished it, and then that's it. They were probably gonna move
Because
on to like a new thing.
if you remember Gat Out of Hell, I don't know if you ever
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah. I
they
did,
did
I
the
did,
yeah, and
and
then
I, I don't know.
yeah.
It just, yeah, it
Mm-mm.
didn't hit.
No.
I mean, I like the character Gat. He
Oh
was
hell yeah.
cool, right?
Oh
He
hell
was
yeah.
amazing, but I just couldn't deal with the whole like like
Yeah.
you're in hell and like, yeah, it was just too
Yeah.
wacky for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, they it just kind of like didn't go anywhere, and then once I heard about that, about Saints Row, and I saw the trailer. I will say, when I first saw the trailer, I was kind of like skeptical in a way, because I was like, it's a whole reboot. Like, everything we know is just kind of like gone, right? And
Yeah.
they're just reintroducing everything their own way and all that, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm completely fine with that. I mean, you want to start something fresh, something new.
Yeah.
Um, but seeing the gameplay, the way it looked, I just almost felt like there was nothing. Like, it didn't look new,
Mm.
right? It just looked like the same thing, but they just redoing it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Halo
And
Infinite.
yeah, exactly. But then they showed some other stuff, some more gameplay, and I was like, okay, no, yeah, like they're improving a lot of the things that they wish they could have done probably in the other ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I will tell you, after seeing the customization on it, I was pretty blown away, because it's not necessarily, you can forget about all the story and everything
Yeah.
else. Just
Yeah.
just the sense of you being able to customize, which you're called in the game the boss, right? You're the boss.
Yeah.
Your boss, literally the way that you want to, whether you and the crazy part about it is, like, they're even adding the wackiness to the customization. If
Yeah.
you want to be like a robotic looking person or a chrome body or whatever, you can do that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and that I just love that sense of freedom when it comes to customization.
Same.
And
Same.
you being able to like see yourself in the cutscenes, however wacky you may look,
Mm.
it's just cool. It's just cool. So I'm excited for it.
It
Just seeing that.
it plays to everybody's different taste, right? Like
Hmm.
if I want to be, more straight laced and suits and ties and do that whole Don Corleone kind of shit, and then there's like you or somebody else wants to be just like wacky with like a cone hat on and a clown nose or whatever it
Yeah,
is. That a freedom to do it is what makes
exactly.
it good. I just want to say a few things, and then we're gonna make a little bit of an announcement because, and it'll tie into this because
Yeah.
co-op is a big thing in Saints Row. So I,
Hmm.
I just want to say there's two things, or whatever. The trailers for the Saints Row games were, to my opinion, best game trailers ever. Go back and look at
True.
Saints Row 2's launch trailer
True.
to Easy E's Real Motherfucking G's.
Oh my god.
Go back and look at Saints Row 3's announced trailer to Kanye's Power, and I hate Kanye. I don't like Kanye at all, but the use of that
And
song in Saints Row 3
yeah.
is just. And go back and look at Saints Row 4's. There was a few of them where like they have like the deep voice announcer. He's like Benjamin motherfucking King. He's like just like talking
Yeah.
to. So Saints Row has some of, in my opinion, the absolute hands down best trailers. Period.
Yeah.
But BB, speaking of co-op, because I've co-opted all three Saints Row games, we
Hmm.
have a little bit of an announcement that we forgot to tease at the start of the show because we're
Yeah.
professionals. But we'll make sure to put it in the announcements. But or in the descriptions. But we have an announcement to make, and it's something that we've been sitting on for a little bit of time, because we had to edit it and do all that stuff. But BB&J Plays. It's a new little series that we're doing. You and I, we sat down, we played, we recorded a whole BB&J show and a whole, playthrough, and then a bit of a review at the end of
Yeah.
us playing a game. And it's something that we are going to do more going forward. So there's more content from the BB&J show. It's actually fitting that we're announcing it on the 10th episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just went and described it, I guess, but you can tell the raving audiences that want to hear your voice. Tell us more about it.
No, yeah, we're playing. We're trying to keep it to where it's more like co-op based, right?
Mm-hmm.
Games where we can pretty much go over that, but it's also mostly to just kind of, I guess, experience those games that you've always wanted to play with a person, right?
Yeah,
With someone. So I love that sense of like, in a way, we're trying to reimagine the comfy couch co-op, if you
yeah,
would say, right?
yeah.
The couch co-op gameplay where you would just hit with a friend, just play, go crazy, and see where the story goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we do a little review at the end. I'm really excited to to show
Yeah,
this one because
yeah.
I think it's a pretty cool way to do the debut of the episode, because
Mm-hmm.
it's mostly like high expectations, and like high expectations for this game, and just
You
I'll just let you all
yeah.
watch it
You'll
because it's
you'll have
it's
to see.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very but yeah, and including with that one, I would definitely like to do some Saints Row.
Yeah,
That would be freaking awesome
yeah,
to see
definitely.
that. But yeah, I'm excited for BB&J plays.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely gonna be some cool stuff. Something that we wanted to do as well. Maybe we can do it on a Discord, or if we ever get a Twitter channel or whatever, right? um no, like recommendations, if you have
Yeah.
any recommendations, because like the thing I wanted, or in what we wanted, right, was to play games that might, uh people might want to have try out, but they're not too sure of,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or also just to experience what other people might have experienced and say,
Mm-hmm.
hey, what are your thoughts on this? Because this is like, this might be my favorite game, so like,
Yeah.
what do you think about it? So definitely, if you want to, in all different platforms that we're on, whether it's here in the comments, or on that video, email us, Discord. um, Definitely tell us if you have any games that you would like for us to try out, because
Absolutely.
yeah, I can't wait to see where other, hopefully, some really good ones,
Yeah.
um yeah, some really good games,
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, God, please. Uh, but yes, as BB said, email or carrier pigeon, or we have individual Twitter accounts, and there will be a BB&J show Twitter at some point, or our Twitch channels if we're streaming. They're always in the
Mhm.
description. We have Discords. We're not hard to find. We're if you want to leave a comment and be like, hey, I want you guys to play this game, feel free. If you don't want to put it out there, there's the email is always available, or as we say, there's many ways to get to us. But yes, BB&J Plays is coming soon. Do we have a date? Do we have a release date?
I think release date will be next week.
Yeah,
Let me check real quick. Next week on the 27th
there you go.
should be.
The
Yeah.
27th, you're going to want to check it out. I had okay, I had more fun filming that episode than maybe people might think. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It was a great experience. As BB said, high expectations, and well, you'll have to watch the episode to see how that expectations game turned out. It was something unique, and we look forward. We have some ideas maybe for future things that we want to play. We don't know how often we're going to be doing it, because it is kind of it's a lot hard, not harder, but it's a lot more time consuming to do
Yeah.
that than this. That is,
Correct.
we got to play for however long we decide to play for. I think that day we played for like an hour and a half, and then we did a
Felt
half.
like the whole day, actually, but
Yeah, yeah, I know. It felt like a few years. And then we did. I think it was about like a 30 or some odd minute,
hmm
review afterwards. So it takes more time, and then there's editing that goes into it. That's more than comprehensive than this. This is just a straight shot. We sit down, we record, we
Yeah.
talk, we upload. So we don't know how often it's going to be, but it is going to be a series that is something that we're going to keep doing. So if you have a co-op game that you loved, that's on Steam. Like, there's a lot of retro games on Steam. Something that might make BB's eyes hurt. Yes. Feel free.
No.
Feel free. If there's a game that you really enjoy that's, that has a co-op component to it, feel free to send us some just suggestions. But, BB, we have made it through the 10th episode. How were you feeling?
10th episode. Holy crap, yo. I mean, it's amazing. I can't believe we're on manga episode 9. Like, oh my
Oh,
gosh. No, yeah. If you, like always, if you've made it to this point in the video, you are truly an MVP in our hearts.
definitely.
um, thank you so much for joining us for 10 episodes. We're going to continue to do that.
Hmm.
I'm super excited to see where BB&J goes, and I know it's going to go great places.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you again for catching us.
Definitely, as BB said. And it's funny, I spoke to somebody over this past weekend who watches our show, and they were like, every time you get to the end and you're like, if you're still with us, you're an MVP. And they're like, yeah, it's me. So you know who you are. You are indeed the MVP. But yes, we I 10 episodes when we did this, so it's been 12 weeks now, so it's 3 months. There've been only 2 times that we haven't been able to do an episode,
Hmm.
so it's 10 episodes in 12 weeks. When we started this journey 3 months ago, I was excited then, and I'm excited now. It
Yeah,
has been
same.
honestly just so easy to do this. It's as I say, it's not work. And we have some ideas cooking up for episodes to come in the future and things that we have that we want to do, such as the BB&J plays. We did that. I think we filmed it. I think what 3, maybe even 4 weeks ago,
Yeah,
something like that.
4 weeks.
So we have things cooking now that you guys will see later on. And we're excited for it. And thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope that you've enjoyed it as much as we have. And we look forward to continuing this journey with you as we do more of the BB&J show. So, for BB, I am Jay. We'll see you next time. Stay safe and enjoy the BB&J plays that comes out before the next episode. Take care, everybody.
Bye. What up, fam? Thanks for watching.
For more of the BB&J show, click subscribe, click like, and click the bell for notifications when we release new videos.